Welcome back to Pop Beat Breakdowns. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down a pop rock beat that I recently made for a client. Now, based on the requirements, this is more in the influence of a Taylor Swift kind of song, hence for the thumbnail using Taylor Swift in this thumbnail, but we are breaking down a pop rock instrumental that I have made. The whole purpose of this video is when I was doing the academic route music production, I actually found the best way to learn about production was watching other producers break down their own beats, trying to learn things that maybe they've done, and also just seeing little different techniques and tricks that they've used to make their productions a little bit better. So I'm hoping by doing these sorts of videos, maybe beginners to production could hopefully learn something from this video or have something at least to take away. With that said, if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button as it is the best way to support the channel. But let's dive straight into this video. Let's jump into Logic and let's break down this beat. Okay, so this is the track in Logic. Now today's beat I actually built around the drums, hence why the drums are at the top. For the sake of this video, I always order the tracks in the order that I actually put stuff in. I not only find this is a very good way to study my own workflow, but it's just always naturally how it tends to occur. And today I built it around the drums. And again, we are starting with Logic stock drums. One of the things that I always emphasize in videos, the difference between a amateur production of drums and pro is firstly separating all the individual elements of the drum kit into separate tracks. It gives you a lot more creative control over mixing, and it also just makes it a lot more easier, again, just to get the levels right and adjust your kit to exactly how you want it to be. So this is the kick that I chose. And that is the drum kit again from Logic Pro X. I've just dampened the kick a little bit in here just because I found it was a little bit too much of a decay coming from the drum kit. So again, I just did that to the drum snare roll. So I just did that to the kick. Then for the snare, again, like we're in the exact same Bluebird kit, which is just a separate track so I could control the level a lot more. And what you can hear there is also the fills as well. I used, again, just the same drum kit for everything, even the hi-hats, because it helps because there was a little bit of a room sort of effects that I wanted to convey across in the drums to give it that sort of live feel to a pop rock beat. So I added that in. So again, this is all the drums together. Just occasionally throwing in some open hi-hats just to give the drum kit a bit of movement so it's not samey the whole time. And then I went into Splice for the crashes. We have one little sweep here, which is just a reverse crash, just to add a little bit of development and a little bit of a transition between sections. There you go. Now, again, for a sweep up into the chorus, I just wanted to add the ROM reverb to this just to give it that nice little swoosh at the end and to give it a little bit more of a release before it gets into chorus, just so there's something there. I just felt like when I had it without the reverb, it just felt like the track went completely dead before the chorus, and I still wanted something there, so that's why the reverb stayed in. And then next we have the bass. This is where I started to work out what sort of key this song was going to be in, and I just messed around with it, and I just went for a running bass line, keeping it simple, but keeping it energetic, starting to give the song, from the rhythm section, a bit more of a lively feel. So this is the bass I came up with. And again, from one of my last videos I did, this is one of my favorite bass plugins to use. This is the, I believe the, what's it called? The Solid Soul Electric Bass Logic preset. I love this bass. When it was added in, this was a game changer for me because even though I've got some Kontakt's bass emulations, I actually still find myself going back to this one. And I've just got a sustain from the start here, so it feels like it's an open and not so much as a staccato kind of performance from the bass. Moving on next, we have the acoustic guitar, which I then added because this is a pop rock song, kind of in the style of Taylor Swift. When I listen to reference tracks, obviously acoustic guitar is something that's very prominent throughout Taylor Swift songs, and even in pop rock songs as well. I find acoustic guitars add that nice brightness to a track, a little bit more of a good feel, and especially the strummed acoustic, so I wanted to make sure I had them in. There you go. And I just have them going into a track stack because it makes, again, easier to mix. Just adding a little bit more highs and lows and cutting a little bit in the mid so I could have it sit where I wanted to in the mix. Now, I have two different acoustic guitars here straight from Kontakt, both using the strummed acoustic. I have the handmade B pattern for the first acoustic guitar, Again, everything is doubled and panned straight to the side, so I could have the acoustic guitar at the sides of the mix, and I've got the homemade C as well. Both of them together create a nice blend. Let's have a quick listen to them just as if it was one and then the other. As I said in previous videos, it really helps to have some like variation in the rhythms of the acoustic guitar, because it creates a more fuller sound overall, and having it at the sides of the mix creates a little bit more movement in the mix, and yeah, it's something that I was very happy with, so it stayed in, and it sounds great straight out the software instrument, so there wasn't too much mixing that needed to be done other than what you saw in EQ. Then I also have this bass in here as well. This is just Omnisphere. I just added that to give the bass a little bit more snap and a little bit more of a bright sound to it. Again, like blending sounds together, it's a great way to put your own twist on a sound, so that was very great to have kept in. Next is when I needed electric guitar. This wouldn't be a pop rock song, of course, without electric guitar. And again, I love to use MIDI guitar in here. You know, it's controversial, but I love it. The electric vintage, again, we have a simple B pattern playing. There's a couple of patterns here which I blended together but really well. So this is the first pattern. Then laid it with another one. And then what I wanted to do is, I wanted something persistent throughout the song to be a key feature of the production. So for the intro of the song, I had this idea of just having a single chord playing, as sort of like an announcer to the song. So I came in and found this electric guitar. But to make it more interesting than just having that playing right throughout the whole song, I decided to add some sus2 and 7th hammer-ons throughout, so it sounds really cool. This is what I came up with. And in context, put it all together, it sounds like this. Now again, we have a pretty good band sort of production there, but we want to add more to it, because even though this is a pop rock song, I really like the synth elements that I was getting in reference tracks for this song, and Taylor Swift does like to use synths, especially in her new music, so I thought it would be good to add some of them in. So I started, as I always do, to create the own pad sound that I want. I created a pad track stack and started creating my own sound. So I started off with Big Pulse Waves, which is a stock Logic preset. Just playing the chords with a few extra notes in there. There you go. And then I use the chill pad from RetroSynth. I'm just going to quickly pull up RetroSynth, because this is a software instrument in Logic that I'm a massive fan of, especially for the sort of 80s and synth pop productions I do. I use this a lot. And this is the chill out pad, which again is one of its presets. It's very good to have. Let's have a listen to this. Just something delicate. I wanted something subtle. And on top of that, then I wanted something to fill in more of the lower frequencies of the pad, so I added in this dark background, which again is a preset in RetroSynth. And then I'm going to finish it off with what has to be probably one of my favourite sounds in Logic, and this is the massive saws, which you can find in the classic synth section in the preset library. And I absolutely love this. I use this in so many productions. Probably say to date, this is probably my most used sound when it comes to Logic stock plugins. Massive fan of it. Add it all together, and this is what it sounds like. I mean, it just screams 80s, and it's just the perfect sound for that sort of disco 80s pop. I love it so much. And the last thing I added was a little rhythmic pad, just to try and keep it going. And this is another pad that I am actually a massive fan of as well. This is called the Future Strings, and it adds a really nice throb to tracks. So have a listen to this. I put it in as a riser because the chord progression overall so far you hear in the song, it's kind of more of a descending kind of chord that's happening, like it starts higher and finishes lower. So I wanted something rising to add a little bit of contrast in the rhythms. So I added this in. Going higher. and then higher again. There you go, and then it does go higher again. Now, put all these pads together, and this is what my pad section sounds like. When you put it all together, this is the pop rock production in the style of Taylor Swift reference. So there you go, guys. That is how I made a pop rock type beat in the style of Taylor Swift influence. If you enjoyed that video, hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel, trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. Let's see if we can do it. And also comment below any suggestions on other artists or beats you want me to either break down or try and create and break down first. By the way, all the beats that you hear on my YouTube channel are available at the JG Beat Store. I will leave the link below so you can check that out if you want to license or purchase or even download free with a tag any of these beats you hear on my channel. The link below, and you can do that. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Keep making music, and I will see you in the next video.